many, many wonderful concerts, not least the concert and recording of the Elba in the South that you heard in rehearsing just here, which I think without question is the finest recording of that piece that there is extant, regardless of all the Elba experts that we English conductors would like to consider ourselves to be. And I learned a lot about individual pieces of music, but there are a couple of incidents which really gave me pause to think about my craft and my job and how it is best done. And I'll tell you about them. One was I was walking away from the Winter Gardens after rehearsal one day with the manager, the associate manager, the concertmaster, myself and Silvestri. And they started to talk about one of the rank and file players who perhaps wasn't quite of the highest standard. And Silvestri started to hang back and didn't take part in that conversation. And I thought, well, now wait a minute, he's the responsible music officer of the company, he should be taking part in this conversation. And I thought, well, he's clearly not, and why is that? And I didn't talk to him about it because I was much too shy to have such a conversation with this great man. But I came to the conclusion that he wanted his relationship with the orchestra, with the players, to be entirely about the music, and that they should not feel their livelihoods threatened by him. And there were plenty of players in the orchestra who were terrified of him, but it was because of what happened on the platform. I mean, he would do something we're not allowed to do today. He'd get a desk of violinists to play by themselves. Try that today and you will be marched out of the building very quickly. They were terrified of him because of the musical demands. But my feeling was that they didn't feel that he was involved in threatening their livelihood. And I came to the conclusion that was really one of the reasons why he had such a successful musical relationship with the orchestra, because they were about what we really should be about when we're on the platform. And the other thing that was really interesting was, we were doing, I think it was Rachmaninoff's Third Symphony. I was sitting listening and he was rehearsing it. And there was a little phrase, 3 quavers up to a bar line on the 4 horns of the first flute. And he stopped and he did it again. And he did it again. And he did it again. And he didn't say why, he just did it again, did it again. And then Laurie Beers, the principal flute, said, Maestro, please tell us what it is you want. We want to play this the way you want it, but we don't know what we're trying to do. He said, no, we play it again, we play it again. We played it several times more. And then suddenly, something clicked, and we all knew that they'd all found something. And I thought about that, and I mean, I would dare do that with a leading professional orchestra. They say, do you want it louder or do you want it quieter, before you knew where you were. But I came to the conclusion that if he'd said, well, third horn, you need to play your second quaver a fraction earlier, the fourth horn, you need to play your third quaver a fraction later, that would have happened. And it still wouldn't have had a musical life of its own. And what he did by just repeating it with those players was he gave them the opportunity to swim into something that was the result of all of them as a present group of music makers. And these were fantastic lessons as a musician. Never mind learning, I studied Shostakovich's 10 with him and learned an awful lot about that, just from talking to him about it. But those sort of things about how does the conductor profession actually work were really fascinating.
I'd say that Silvestri, he was a seeker of the spirit of the music, a conductor of the old school who needed his own orchestra, like Furtwängler, Mengelberg, all these people, which he trained in his own way to interpret the music. A tempo rubato conductor, if needed, with melodies which were very expressive, very liberated. And the orchestra played like musicians in love with music. That's what it said in the newspaper. I thought it was just a bit over the top at the time. But on looking back, I think it was just like that. On the first day in Everly, he came to the orchestra Kenneth Matchett, the manager, told me when he got home, Madame Silvestri had said, how did you get on with the orchestra? And he said, I think I can do something here. I've often thought about that. I think in London probably Silvestri was just too different and sort of tangy. Lots of rehearsal he needed. And this was the London of Sargent, Marlborough, Beecham, Bolt. And if he looked as though he was playing to the gallery, he was not. He was playing to the gallery of musicians in front of him to inspire them to greater efforts. His English was pretty dreadful at the beginning. He did improve, but he didn't get beyond a certain point. And there are just one or two things you get the idea of this. We had to cope with a bewildering array of all these continental terms, you know. Gran Casa, Chinelli, Crotals, you know, this sort of went on there. And there was one very embarrassing moment for me personally in the Manfred Symphony in the third movement, which is a scherzo, a waterfall scene, and there's an interval in between there and the trio, and this is where the spirit of the waterfall comes in a kind of in a mist. And he said, yes, he said, you know, like Fata Morgana, you see. Everyone stood there and went, well, I actually knew what it meant, but I think I was the only one. Yes, he said, you know, Fata Morgana, Gelida. Well, that's Hungarian. So I put my hand up, which is not always a very good thing to do with us. And I told him, I said, you mean a mirage, don't you? Yes, yes. When he came out.
Sometimes.
This is one little story I must tell you. This was very early on. In the hall parts, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're supposed to have all crescendo, but one of them didn't. And he said, do you want me to crescendo this bar like all the other halls do? Silvestri said, no, I don't, but Tchaikovsky does. And he smiled, in fact we all laughed. Later in the same rehearsal, Silvestri had added some small extra notes to be played. He said, could you play these little notes, please? And one of the horn players got up and said, but does Tchaikovsky want me to do them? So it's a sort of, he could certainly take a joke. And he often was very deft at just sort of diverting a little, I'll stop there, diverting a little attention to himself.
Sometimes when he came to the rehearsals, he was wearing a brown suit.
Brown suit.
He was wearing a brown suit. There is a story related to this.
Sorry, the brown suit, well, it was usually because Madame Silvestri was away in Paris, I think, and he was left on his own preparing his. And we used to come back from our long days, you know, with other conductors. And we'd get back about 1:30 or 2 from places like Plymouth, very long journeys. And his light was on. And I think he used to listen, you know, in the Romanian manner with a bottle of wine, a big jug of water, and a couple of cheese. You know, that's the way they generally do things then. And so when he came out in the morning, he could have almost rolled out of bed into the window now, it was so close. And it was downhill as well. And he would say, he would come in his brown suit. And everyone used to think, it's the brown suit. The sort of Van Dyke brown, rather dark. And we'd start rehearsing something, and he'd be dissatisfied with something. Dissatisfied, he said, violas! We'd play it, they would right. And then he would start second desk of violas, and they would have to play it. Third desk of violas, fourth desk of violas. Meanwhile, the first desk of violas, they were settling into a sort of nice kind of feeling as far as pleased with themselves. Right at the end, it would say, first desk of violas. They would all sort of, he was, I think this wide business, I've only ever met two other conductors that I played for who did this. One was Temikhanov, they're both Russian, and the other one was Kurt Zanderling. They both had this. What it did, in saying why, throws you back on your, throws you sort of back on your sort of thinking about it, and you look at things from a slightly different angle. I think, and that's important, because it did change the way you thought about things.